Hi, welcome to Talking Gems. My name is Onyx.
I'm Phoenix.
Alasia.
And I'm Lauren.
And today we're going to be discussing Ariana Grande's Positions, her new album. And okay, I don't know how to describe this. I wasn't necessarily an Ariana like I didn't look forward for her albums. It would just come out and then I'll like, oh, cool, let me listen, right?
You looked forward to this one?
More so I didn't know it was coming out. So then when it was announced, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I was like, it wasn't just like, oh, her album's out this time. I was like, oh, I gotta listen. Like, yeah. So that's a progression.
What changed?
I think I was just curious what she was gonna do after Thank You Next. And the fact that it's kind of soon. Like it's only been a year, right?
She's been pumping them out
because
Sweetener to
well,
Thank
that's
You
just
Next was
the past 3 albums though.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like
she used to take breaks.
Yeah.
These last 3 have been pumps.
They were like boom, boom, boom. So I just wasn't expecting anything. So then I was like, oh, we're getting an Ariana album? Oh, wow. Like I just feel like she put out Positions and then all of a sudden it was like, this is the album. And I was like, oh, okay.
But even before Positions, the way people was talking about it was like, oh, Ariana's coming out with the R&B album.
Oh, I didn't know. I literally, she dropped the single Positions and then I find out she's dropping an album. And I was like, oh, wow.
I knew she was on the list of I knew she was on the list of speculated artists dropping this fall. So I was kind of like, spidey senses tingling in the atmosphere, knowing that her album could be dropping, and then Positions dropped, and then that's when it was like the date's been confirmed because there was no singles yet, and she only did one single.
Did Positions not come out the same time as the music video?
It did.
It did. That's,
okay.
Yeah. She released the single and the music video the same day.
But I just want to go back to Alicia's statement where people are like, oh my gosh, she's dropping an R&B album. I'm just like, when has she not dropped an R&B album? But we can get into that later on.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. Because, I mean, we could discuss it now. Her first album was mainly R&B, and then
Which one was the first? Was that Honeymoon Avenue?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the last 2 were like pop songs. But the first whole album was R&B influenced, but like a pop with the pop twist,
What her team does really well, like most of her albums have so many R&B influence in it, but all her singles are like pop singles.
Yes.
And those are the songs people know Ariana Grande for.
Oh.
So she comes off very pop artist because of that.
Yeah.
Are y'all saying Yours Truly is an R&B album?
Yeah.
It's R&B EDM mix. If you listen to the full album, that was the sound of R&B of that time.
That has more R&B like influence than
Dangerous Woman.
Like Dangerous Woman and Thank You Next. Dangerous Woman, it was literally like half like this is going to be like an EDM influence, and then half the songs were like this is going to be R&B influence.
Exactly.
And then Yours Truly was all her songs had an R&B influence undertone, except for the last 2.
Beat and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. I get what you're saying. But I guess when I hear the first album, like, yes, there's R&B influence, but it's so, like, it's such a new age. Like, it's not like what I would go to for R&B music.
Yeah, you
wouldn't go to it for R&B
music. It's R&B pop.
But it's R&B pop. Just like,
definitely have R&B influence.
How people are like, oh, Thank You Next has such R&B pop. And I was like, okay, she's been doing this. Like, it's nothing new. They think it's more, like, and it's not. Like, if you look at Thank You Next, it has more, like, this is going to be, like, my EDM pop, and this is going to be my R&B pop, But that, yours truly was, like, R&B pop, and then the last 2 were just, like, pop. Like, this is not even an influence.
So then what do you consider Honeymoon Avenue? That's a R&B song?
R&B pop.
Okay.
I'm saying she's always been a pop artist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all of her songs
all of her music does have heavy R&B influence.
But then like songs like is it I forget the second album, like Breathing. That's
from My Everything.
Yeah, My
Everything.
Everything.
Like Break Free.
Yeah, like Break Free was Zed. Like those are like the EDM.
Yeah.
Those are specifically pop. But then she has R&B songs in those albums. And that's what I feel like all the rest did. But then Positions is more, she was like, oh, let me just go back to Yours Truly type. where they all have like a R&B undertone, but they're pop songs.
Okay, so how did you
That's
feel?
where I disagree.
How did you feel about Positions?
I liked it.
Okay,
it's her vocally her best.
I agree.
I 100% agree. I love the vocal gymnastics.
Yeah. But it's not my favorite album. But vocally, it's the best.
What's your favorite album?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I really enjoy Break Free, and I really enjoy the second album. I always forget the name.
My Everything.
I really enjoy My Everything.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was the one last time. That was Problem. Yeah. I used to know Iggy's whole verse for Problem.
Oh really?
But
yeah, because that
there was a
brief.
I low-key
Iggy
was a Iggy stan for like a cool period of time.
Yeah,
but I don't know how that came about.
Because she came in hot and heavy,
she
and
did.
then
walk a mile in these Louboutins. Okay, this is not a Beggy. This is not a Beggy. Okay, Phoenix, how do you feel about Positions?
I like it a lot, honestly. I think she always have bops, and like she's consistent with putting out like pop, like good R&B pop music. Honestly, I think I like it a little bit better than Thank You Next, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to say that because I was like, oh, like Thank You Next is a really good album.
Yeah.
It's just like more consistent and has a more album layout than Thank You Next, in my opinion.
I was like, to that effect, I think Thank You Next has more radio hits and more like I will listen to you all the time. Like effect where it's just like it's a popular, like it's very catchy. You can sing along to it. So, but it doesn't make it better. So I understand what you're saying. I can understand how you can think this Positions is like better and a better album, but I personally probably listen to Thank You Next just because it's like more catchy, just an easier listen.
I disagree. I think this is an easier listen.
You think Positions is easier than Thank You Next?
I think Positions is like background music when I'm doing my homework, and then Thank You Next is an easy listen if I just want to like bop to something.
I think it just depends on your mood and what type of music you want to listen to at this moment. Because right now, I'm not really in the mood for Thank You Next. I'm in the mood for like a Positions type album, something more somber, relaxing, rather than type of
Okay,
feel.
I understand the background because half the songs are the same to me. Half the songs, like I can't think of the difference between some of them. Like which ones were the ones that when I was listening to it the first time, Just Like Magic was the first one. I was like, okay, yeah. And then POV. And those were the only two I think I would go back and listen to. I liked like the ad libs and everything. I liked the production of Shut Up. And then the other ones, it's like, yeah, no, these I like Positions. I also like Positions, but I didn't count that because like it was a single. But those three, and then like I like the production of a lot of the songs, but nothing that I'm like, yeah, I want to like go back and listen to.
That's interesting.
But I also think this is going to be a divided podcast because Lauren is silent, but I think it's going to be very you two and us two. So how do you feel?
I don't think so because this is not my favorite album.
Okay, well, maybe it's just the way you was the way you was. Onyx came in like no blasphemies. I have opinions.
No, because what's divisive is the fact that the first album, I knew you guys don't consider it R&B.
I consider it R&B. I just don't consider it. I think the problem is I think I understand why people are saying. To me, this type of R&B, Positions R&B, is a different R&B than yours truly. So
it's because R&B evolved.
I know, but I'm saying you just said like she went back to like yours. I don't think she went back to that sound.
Okay,
I think she just went back to R&B. These are just different sounds.
She literally went back because most of the people who wrote and worked on the first album wrote and worked on this album.
Yeah,
and I can hear the similarities in production and lyrics and the way I think maybe you just feel like her voice is younger, but it's more upbeat. This one is very more slow down, sultry. But if you listen to her slow down songs and you compare them, they kind of feel similar.
They're like the same.
Yeah, I just don't agree.
Yeah, that's why I said this is going to be where we disagree. Like
I
divisive.
just don't see. Yeah, I feel like this. Like yours truly. I Like I listened to all of her albums like back to back, and I do like overall I definitely feel the growth. I feel the type of vibe, and I always knew she would kind of move in this direction, so it all feels very connected. But I do feel like this has like a different R&B sound that she's done since like Yours Truly. I feel like there's more connection to My Everything than Yours Truly.
No.
I kind of agree, but I think My Everything had more dance
music.
Well, I'm talking about the R&B songs of My Everything, not the songs.
Well, yeah. Okay, that's when I just come in to say that's when R&B was evolving and changing. Like the sound of R&B with like My Everything and like Yours Truly was very pop dance mix at the time, because like if you listen to Ashanti's album when it came out, it was very much, it sounded like an Ariana Grande song. Like some Ariana songs sounded like a Ashanti song.
They were doing Ashanti's like 2013 album. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. 2013, 2014 album.
I didn't even know Ashanti was making music.
Can't draw on that.
Okay, speaking of, that was a great album, and everybody
Ashanti.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fire album. No one listened to it.
No one listened to it.
I don't doubt that nobody listened to it.
I didn't know she was still making music. I thought she was just
still. She put out a song when she was on with DaBaby, and I was like, "Who? How she still do that?"
Yeah, she still makes
because
music.
She writes songs.
And she writes songs, and she still makes.
Oh, Braveheart. 2014?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Okay.
All right.
Also, yeah, everyone should go check it out because I love that album.
It's so good.
wait, you guys never, like, I need opinions. Lauren, you never said your opinion on the album. Or, like, how you feel.
I think it's a cool album. I think it's a solid album. Mm-hmm. This album didn't break any boundaries. Like, for instance, I was not an Ariana Grande fan to begin with. Did not like her at all. Couldn't stand her voice. I mean, I could tell she could sing, but it was just like, oh my God, I can't listen. Like, I can't listen to a whole album of this. It was horrible. Dangerous Woman was the album that made me a fan of hers. Mm-hmm. Reluctantly. Very reluctant. Like, it was literally song by song, single by single that was making me a fan. Sweetener dropped, and I said, great, I don't have to be a fan because I did not like Sweetener.
I don't think I've even really listened to Sweetener.
I listened to Sweetener, and
because I think I heard everyone else being like, why? Like, you don't need to.
It's a weird thing, like, re-listening to it recently, it's like, it's very Ariana Grande, but there's something just lacking.
Wait, no, actually, I think I did listen to
Ariana Grande, and that's the problem with it. Pharrell produced the album. And that was the only like every other album she has like the same producers pretty much working. It's like Yours Truly, she has her set people, and then My Everything, she got her like EDM dance like producers too, and then Dangerous in Love was like a combination of people, and then Thank You Next was the combination of those two people, and then Positions is the people from Yours Truly. But Sweetener is Pharrell produced, and that's
entirely?
For the most part. And then she has like her EDM people come in, and then she has like her R&B people come in, but most of it's Pharrell's produced, and that's what's different. And that's, I don't think people took to the sound, and I didn't take to the sound at all, except for she has the ones that weren't, no offense, Pharrell's producing was great. I just didn't like the songs. The ones
it wasn't her.
Yeah, it wasn't her. But Breathin'. Why do we like Breathin'?
No
Because
Tears
it was
Left to
produced
Cry.
by the producers who produced Break Free.
I do like that song.
I mean, I didn't like Breathin' though, but yeah, wait, No Tears Left to Cry. Oh, did I not like either of those?
Oh, also produced.
Was
by
that the one
people.
where she was in like a dress and like it was like moving?
Yeah.
Like okay.
But don't those two songs sound different from the rest of the album?
Yeah. No, Looking at Us.
Tears Left to Dry and Breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah, to cry.
And those are her two singles.
I don't. Okay. All right.
Oh, one thing about Sweetener I didn't like is it's just like some songs I can just tell wasn't for Ariana Grande in the first place.
Yes. Like R.E.M.
Yes. I was like, yeah, I can hear Beyonce on that song.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. It was just like a lot of the songs weren't for Ariana, and just like she was trying to do something like different and new. I understand, but like it was a miss for me. And then also, I feel like there's like revisionist history going on right now on the social media and the interwebs, because people are like, "Oh, Sweetener is her best album." I was like, "Weren't y'all just bashing it when it first came out?"
I remember this thing. It won pop album, won a Grammy.
Sweetener did?
Won the Grammy.
I did not know that.
Wait, what?
It won the Grammy.
I did not
Against
know
who?
that.
Like pop. It won pop. It didn't win the album of the year. That was Casey Musgrave's year.
Okay.
But she won pop.
She won.
That because she didn't go to the Grammys because she wanted to do Seven Rings. And at that time, there was controversy with the song.
Oh
and
yeah,
that whole thing. So she I pulled out of the Grammys, and then but she ended up winning pop
I didn't
album.
even know she won a Grammy
against
yet.
who?
Look,
Wait, what year was that?
We'll
yeah,
look.
look.
I got
I think it was Sean. No,
2018?
Sean was nominated.
Who she won against because that was not a good album at all.
Yeah.
I think she, Pharrell got the backing a little bit with that.
Probably.
Also, just in general, though, that was a weak year.
It was.
Just for music in general. I feel like my favorite album that year was Post Malone's album, and it got noms,
Beer
but it
Bongs
didn't really.
Interesting.
Really? I don't even know what came out in 2018.
Was it best?
Yeah.
Was it vocal album? Grammy not 2018 best vocal album. You think? Okay, yeah. So it was Shawn Mendes, Pink, Beautiful Trauma. Oh, okay. Actually, this makes sense. So Shawn Mendes for the one with the flowers on his face.
That should have won then.
Sweetener, Beautiful Trauma by Pink, Reputation by Taylor Swift, Meaning of Life, Kelly Clarkson, and Camila Cabello.
Oh yeah, Sean should have won. I'm sorry, Ariana.
Yeah.
Sean should have won, but it was
that was a bomb album.
Oh wait, no, I'm just looking at the title. That's In My Blood, Lost in Japan, Where Were You in the Morning?
Why?
He should have won. Why?
Nervous.
Where were you? Oh. Okay, that's that song. Okay.
Mutual. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things to where in general, Ariana Grande winning a Grammy, that's not an incorrect statement.
Mm-hmm.
Sweetener winning a Grammy is an incorrect statement.
Very
it's like the Tyler the Creator feeling him having a Grammy is the correct statement. Mm-hmm. Him winning for rap album is an incorrect statement.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
So it's I see, and I think the problem is Thank You Next was I think more Grammy worthy, but it hit a strong year.
Yeah.
You think it was more?
Wait,
than Sweetener? Yeah.
Thank You Next didn't win anything, right?
No. But the reason why I wouldn't give Thank You Next
was it nominated?
Yeah.
For 2019?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The reason why I wouldn't give it a Grammy is because it's a little too radio basic.
Oh yeah.
But I love Thank You Next. But all her other albums better vocal performances. Except for she has In My Head and Imagine, those are crazy. But a lot of Thank You Next is it's just a good feel good album. I didn't feel like she was trying to do anything critically acclaimed with it. Get a Grammy with it.
But I don't know. I like the lyrics though of that album. I don't see how that one doesn't get it over. I don't see how Sweetener is more.
I think the production on Sweetener is what got the Grammy.
And her vocal performances, because she had a lot more slower songs, so she could show off her vocals. I just think you know how sometimes people like the whole package, and so I feel like the whole package was. I mean, I don't like Sweetener, and I think Thank You Next would be better, but I can see how a Sweetener would get a Grammy over Thank You Next.
But I think it's a different year. I'm just saying I still see her winning with Thank You Next. I Thank You Next was 2018.
I don't know because you said
the same people.
What was your favorite album from 2018? I just looked at 2018 albums. I'm just like, okay.
Wait, what?
Oh, because you said Post Malone was your favorite album from 2018, and she looked up.
No, from from what was being nominated at the Grammys and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fine.
She doesn't agree.
Oh, okay. But what I'm saying is I feel like that 2018 pop album category, if Sweetener won against those other albums, I don't see how. I still think Sean should have won, but I don't see how Thank You Next. To me, I feel like Thank You Next could have won.
I mean, yeah, but that would be because it was Ariana Grande at that time. But I'm saying, it would make sense that a Sweetener would win. I'm not surprised. I'm just saying, if you put Sweetener and Thank You Next, I can see people be like, this is more critically acclaimed than Thank You Next.
I think, especially for Grammys, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
I see what you're saying. If Thank You Next was in 2018 against if it was the same exact people in that category, she probably would have won it. But I'm just saying, I can also see how they chose to, give Ariana her flowers for Sweetener when they could have gave it to Sean in that year because of Ariana has the name, and she had Pharrell on the album.
Oh,
Should've been
Pharrell
Sean.
too.
Should have been Sean.
Pharrell did probably do something.
Especially since that's the time when I was still a fan of Shawn Mendes. He's messing up right now.
Oh my God. Remember when Sean was...
I'm done with him. I'm sorry.
Like, you're done?
Still with,
He's still with Camilla.
Boat.
I thought, you know what? I think they saw all the hate he was getting. So they were like, play it cool. And I guess they can't play it cool no more. And they're just like, no, we're still together. Because there was something that said they were broken up. And I saw like cheering on Twitter.
I think it's because they're like, people are going to be more excited for his music and the documentary. Single. They're like they can focus on that if they don't like this relationship. But
because I saw like the trailer for Jack wasn't part of the documentary about like his love for her.
Yes,
girl. He said every song I've ever wrote
is about you.
I honestly, he's with the whole racist. I can't even
right.
Like,
it's like
my heart.
My heart. That Calvin Klein photo shoot in the trash.
Not the Calvin Klein shoot. But that was such a great shoot.
It was such a great shoot, but you know,
so
but he's with the racist.
He really upgraded himself just to fall.
And he got
far.
muscles too. Shawnee boy.
And to me, I hate it when my favorites. There's only a few people that I don't like in Hollywood, like Taylor Swift, Camila Cabello, and it's just like, why, Sean? There's so many people. There's so many people. There's Harry Styles.
We went to New York
for
him.
Yeah, we did.
And it was an amazing experience. And we saw him at the perfect time because literally a week later, we got accosted with that video of them kissing.
Yeah.
I remember I woke up to that. Literally.
That was so
traumatized.
And all the celebrities who are like a fan of this relationship and they were like, that's so funny. All celebrities and I'm like, that's disgusting and you know it is. Like, that's just unsanitarily disgusting.
Ew.
Anyways, okay.
Ew.
Anyway,
back to Ari.
Positions.
Okay. So what's everyone's favorites on positions?
I think it's probably POV. Yeah. I think that might be my favorite. I would, yeah. Also, was anybody also a little caught off guard to hear murder on an Ariana Grande song?
No, because she was on the beats.
Yeah, but like to hear for it to be like Ariana Grande and then heard that I was like, what? Ariana? What is this? You don't do this.
LOL.
But yeah, I think it's probably POV.
Okay.
Yeah, POV is probably my favorite. I like other ones.
Yeah, what are your top like 3?
I
think probably POV, Just Like Magic, and honestly probably Position. I think those are the only ones that go. I think those are the only ones I would go back to. I listened to this album, I think maybe 3-ish times, probably 4, just going through shuffle for this. And I think after this, now that I don't have to listen to it, I think those are probably the only 3 I would ever go back to listen to.
I like POV. Positions is cool. Just Like Magic. The production of Shut Up is always lovely. Nasty is cool.
Oh, Nasty is cool.
Sometimes when 34, 35 is playing, I don't mind. It's one of the things, I don't mind any of the songs except for My Hair and Love Language. I hate those songs. But
I don't like Love Language.
But okay, wait. We all don't like My Hair, and I promise you I have a theory, and then I'll talk to you guys about it already.
Okay.
But the reason why we don't like My Hair is because I feel like it was supposed to be sung by a Black woman. Because there's a specific lyric. There's a specific lyric where she says, I don't usually let people touch my hair, but you can pull it all night, or something like to that effect. And I was like, that's giving me Black woman vibes, like a Black woman wrote this. And then who wrote it? It was Victoria Monet, was like one of the lead writers on it. Because it's like, of course, she has like a group of writers. Like she always works. Victoria's always like sometimes part of it. But she was the lead writer on this, and I was like, okay. And I think Taylor Parks might have been the lead writer. I was like, so this was for a Black. I mean,
okay, but also,
but I just felt like,
the sound when I heard it, it reminded me of an older. Okay,
Mariah
these are
Carey.
the things.
It's a Mariah Carey sample.
Okay, so the things that kept popping in my head was kind of like a 2000. I don't know why the year 2008 kept popping in my head, and Corinne Bailey Rae kept popping in my head. That's not specifically what it reminds me of, but the sound reminds me of something earlier, maybe early 2000s, and a light-skinned black woman is what I am picturing in my head. I keep thinking of Corinne Bailey Rae, but I know it's not a Corinne Bailey Rae song that I'm thinking of, but something like, what did you say earlier? India Arie.
But she's dark skinned.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I think it's because I'm not my hair.
But it's something about that sound reminds me of that time and that kind of person.
Yeah, I mean, lyrically, I don't like the song, but also production. I also just didn't like it though. Like before, like there's times when I'm not, like I don't, it's on shuffle. And sometimes the songs sound the same, so I don't really know what song is what. And this song was playing, and I remember thinking, what is this song? I don't think I like this song. And I looked, it was My Hair. But that could have been already subconsciously hate, but like it just doesn't do anything for me. I also don't like Love Language.
I just don't like Love Language.
I don't like Love Language either. Those are like some of the songs I left off my playlist.
Yeah.
But people love My Hair on Twitter. When
I've seen.
I was so confused.
Are they?
Okay. Oh, you can't see.
It's all of Ari's fans. I'm just
okay. So, when I forgot when the album came, I remembered a day later that it came out. So I wasn't on Twitter. So what was Twitter saying about it? Did anybody see?
There's a lot of at this point. She has a lot of stands.
Okay.
So there was a lot of just
perfect.
Yes, backbroken
masterpiece.
You know.
Could never do any better.
Yeah.
Picasso in musical form.
Yes, I mean, I can't stop listening. I'm addicted.
I'm just in my spirit.
I'm closer. POV, wanna closer.
I'm disintegrated.
Am I alive? Am I breathing?
I didn't like POV as a closer.
Me either.
I even wanted her to go do something crazy with her vocals at the end and close it out. It just kind of was like, oh, this is the end. It didn't feel like an ending song.
I get you, but
I liked it.
If she ended it, but she was doing a high whistle run or something.
Just to close out. You just didn't have that closure
I didn't
of the
have
album.
a close at the end.
I think I like it just because that's just one of my favorite songs off the album. So to hear it all the way through and then to end with that one is what I like. But I understand what you mean.
I can do an extra note for sure. But but it's weird when I'm listening to the verses and the chorus though. It does give me a very closing vibe.
No, okay.
But I do think it just probably needs one more.
That's what it is. I liked it at the end, but I was like, wait, it's not. You didn't write the period. You didn't.
I get you.
Yeah, I feel like it's like ellipsis.
You're right.
Yeah.
It did feel like it to be continued.
Yes, and I was upset.
For me, I don't know. I don't like POV as much as other people.
Okay. I knew it was about to get hard for me.
I'm gasping. I liked it. It's not my favorite off the album.
What's your favorite?
I think Nasty is one of my favorites. And then Motivate and then West Side.
Okay, Phoenix, we're sisters.
Okay.
I just have different all the songs lately I've been just off of everyone's opinions. Even with the Weeknd's album, my favorite songs are some of the songs people hate.
Okay.
I still haven't listened to the Weeknd's album.
Phoenix, list your 3 again that you like, your favorite.
Motivate,
you mean
Nasty, and West Side.
I like the West Side.
It's Motive, right? The one with
I don't know why I keep saying Motivate. I'm thinking
Motivate.
So my favorite, Nasty is my favorite because
Nasty's top tier.
She came in and I feel like people are ignoring her background vocals, but she came in whistling
her
to the
background vocals on this entire I was like, okay, so I need to listen to this Intoxicate. We all need to do this because I just feel like Intoxicated, this album is going to be a problem.
Right, because
shut up. Listen to
that's 1 second. I'm sorry. I did that to you earlier too. When I was like, "Shut up!"
And, I was so confused,
and I was like, "Shut up!"
No, not you. Okay,
the song "Shut Up," but no, I feel like this album. You know what this album reminds me of? Is why I feel like it's cool.
What?
I feel like a lot of people are making it's cool albums. This is how. This is
Wait,
good.
What do you mean?
Like how we just did Bryson Tiller's album, and I felt
it's cool.
It's cool. It's always a solid. I feel like a lot of people are doing great work for them.
Awesome.
Yes.
But no one is breaking my neck since Chloe and Halle's album.
Yeah. But I was gonna say
since Rina's Sawala.
That's
before though.
Sawayama.
Rina,
That's before.
Rina.
I was gonna say, Bryson Tiller. I watched the interview, and apparently that was not even the album that we were supposed to get. He was making his other album, like his third studio album.
These are the throwaways.
And no, these aren't the throwaways.
Oh.
He was just like, I guess he just was getting in headspace. He was getting mental block. He wasn't having fun. So then he was like, let me just make something for the fans on this anniversary.
Okay.
And it was
that's
just like,
cute.
and he was like, let me just have fun making music, and this is what we get.
See, I feel like
And
really like
that's
Bryson
what this
Tiller.
album sounds like.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's just chilling. I'm just chilling, listening. You know,
So
I feel like they had a good time making.
Yes.
and that's why I
That's
feel
what I'm
like
wondering about this one.
yes, because the fact that she's doing no promo, she only did one single. To me, this gives me like Ariana Grande made it. Like there's no more there's no more hustle that she needs to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's just doing
What she wants.
whatever she wants. That's
Yeah.
what this album gives me. Like I feel like when I'm listening to it, it's cool, it's great, but it's not like past albums where I'm like, oh, she kind of stepped.
Yeah.
Like she stepped.
And
It's stepping for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stepping for her because like I just
especially because it was more like of a sexual album that like Ariana doesn't. What Ariana? I was listening.
Her last album was pretty sexual.
Ari, okay, she had like that one time with The Weeknd. What did she say that I was like, Ariana? She's like, I know I'm wifey, but you can hit it like a side chick. And I was like, Ariana.
To me, this album,
if you don't go to bed,
this album matches her interviews the most. She's done sexual, sexy, one song or two songs get a little ooh. But this is the album that was fully like,
she was like, I'm saying it word for word.
This is 69. No.
Yeah.
Treat me like a whore.
like I am. I am that. Treat me like that.
She said, I will try different positions.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, and that's why I really like, even when she's like this, I like this song with The Weeknd, especially the second half. Once again, vocal gymnastics, but she was just like, is love off the table because I'm under you. Like it was just like a lot. The lyrics to me are just so much fun, and I feel like it's a good, great, solid album.
Yes.
I feel like this doesn't like the peaks. I would say the peaks of other albums, this album doesn't reach those peaks.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not the falls of other albums.
I like the feeling of this album though.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's very middle in the ground.
Yes.
When I first heard like before even the album came out, and I feel like you guys definitely aren't going to agree with this, and I don't think you guys are going to even hear what I'm hearing. When I first listened to Positions, I was like, this sounds like a Kehlani song.
It does.
Okay. Actual song Positions.
I heard it.
Yes, like the song.
Okay.
Not like her voice, because like they have different voices. But literally, I was like, this sounds like Kehlani's, like she's doing kind of like her version of a Kehlani song.
Girl, yes, I thought the same thing.
I was a little bit confused.
What song? I'm trying, like, I think it's Sweet Sexy Savage album for sure.
Yeah.
It sounded a little bit like, what's the last one? I don't know.
So basically what you're saying is that Ariana Grande has to sing all of Kehlani's songs and those will be masterpieces?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, she just needs to
also
become.
Victoria Monet be writing for Kehlani too. Sometimes.
Yeah, maybe.
But
maybe
she didn't. I don't think she wrote Positions.
No. Okay.
I've been like looking up like who was writing who, and I do think someone that was written on a Kehlani song wrote Positions. But
that makes sense. I feel like they got the same people.
I feel like they do.
I feel like lyrically,
I've been seeing who like Ariana's working with and like who else they write for, and they write for Kehlani, they write for Ariana, some of them write for Demi, some of them like it's a lot of like intertwining stuff happening.
Yeah, no, just the way like the words were, and even kind of not her vocal ability, but kind of the way she was singing the lyrics sounded like Kehlani to me.
Yeah.
I did read one article that bashed the album
Positions.
Yes, the album Positions. And I put no stock in this article, but because they also really enjoyed like Folklore or Reputation, one of it, and all of the people on Twitter was like,
"That's out."
This is how you know there's no
you have no
stock.
credibility."
But because it's funny, like what they were saying, the article of why it wasn't good is why I think it's good, because they were saying like in this one she's been talking more on albums, like more words have been like in her album, especially since like Thank You Next. And this is why I feel like this is such a great album like vocally, because she talks a lot, but then she just stays doing background vocals on top of everything, so it's layered, like a waterfall. But I feel like she does have a lot of like words in it,
like when she's literally just like just speaking, like when she was like, means I want to 69 with you.
I did it. I feel like she's like kind of like talking more, like
it's like that rap scene.
It's like a rap scene versus like I am singing.
That's what I was gonna say. Tanashi.
Beyonce.
It sounded like a Tanashi song.
That I get that.
That's who wrote, like someone who wrote like on this song writes for Tanashi too.
Yeah,
I hear that too. Yeah. Tanashi's underrated, y'all. Please get on Tanashi.
Yes.
Please stream her stuff because I feel like she'd be struggling.
Phoenix.
Oh my gosh.
I remember
she be going through like she always be having random breakdowns. I'm like, girl.
I remember when she was like in Rent and Kehlani tweeted and she was like, y'all, what is up with all this Tinashe hate? Like that she works hard. She's talented. Why do y'all hate her? And I was like,
she's the light skin they decided they went to go after, and she's taking all, like right now she's the light skin that's taking all the heat, and like those are the trolls, and she's a rapper, so she's like, it's a little adjacent.
I love Doja.
But yeah, they just decided.
I also think people never forgot when she was like, she should have been like Rihanna or something like that. And people came for her for that.
She did say that.
She was like, she kind of said something to the effect like, she faced colorism in some way.
Basically, that's what people were over her for, because she was saying.
And they never forgot about that.
Never. They won't let her live her down. And then
like, you can't blame the Black community for not being successful. I was like, oh, dang.
Yeah. And then they got mad at her because they thought that, or they trying to paint it at the Kardashians, tried to paint it as that she was stalking Ben Simmons at a restaurant because he's a basketball player, and that's who she used to date. And then he started dating Kendall Jenner. And so there was a whole article that came out that she stalked him at a restaurant, and she was like, I'm not a stalker. She's like, that's the craziest rumor. Like, I can't go out and eat, and I'm a stalker. And I feel bad.
No, see, that's another reason why the Jenner Kardashian clan, I look at them sideways.
Yeah,
but I also, the reason why I feel like this is a different, but people are like, oh, R&B album, is that usually she at least has a like pop or EDM songs on the album that makes it qualified as a pop album. I feel like this one, like what song can you really say?
R&B.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
So I feel like this is why people are like, this is like an R&B album, because I think is the most true R&B album she's done, because there is no other song.
Agreed.
It's her journals.
Yes, it is her journals.
Ooh,
exactly.
Journals.
Exactly.
So I'm curious what they're gonna do with this album when it comes to like if any of them decide, hey, they just did it for Bieber. Look, what
they do?
They put him in R&B.
Did they?
Somebody did
for change. Oh wait, I remember talking about this.
Yeah, it's for changes.
For changes,
they did it for him. So I'm curious if anyone's going to take the plunge and take her out of pop.
What I do, if they do put her in the pop category, she also needs to be in the R&B category.
But I don't
she
want
needs
her
to be in both.
No, my thing.
I think I want her to choose.
Even though, because I do think that at least if they do that for her, then for Black artists, I hope that they're gonna do The Weeknd in pop and The Weeknd in R&B.
Exactly.
I'll be okay with that.
I agree.
I would be okay with that, but are they?
I don't know.
To me, Ariana Grande and The Weeknd are the prime examples right now in music to where Weeknd should be in pop, Ariana Grande, this album should be in R&B.
His
it's going to be the other way around.
Other album in the really poppy one. What
Starboy?
What was that?
That was
one?
R&B.
R&B. It won all the R&B categories. So I'm just like, that's not even an R&B album.
And then sometimes they give him they'll throw him a bone for oh, this is a pop song.
Yeah, they do some pop songs. I think maybe it was a song, but at some point, maybe the category was like indie alternative, and they did something with him at that, something like that. But
I would think they'd put him in some type of alternative something.
Yeah, but most likely they do R&B, mostly because depending on what year it is, there's no one else in R&B that they want to highlight, so they put him there. So they're like, oh, we can highlight somebody in R&B.
What happens is all these artists, they'll submit it for all the categories they want to be acknowledged in, and then either get accepted or not. And a lot of times, these like The Weeknd, he'll probably submit it for pop, but he knows he might not get accepted, so he'll submit it for R&B because he'll get accepted there, and that's the way he can win his awards.
Grammys.
That's what people were talking about with Harry's submissions this year, because his first album he did everything under rock, an alternative. And then now they're just like, oh, he's gonna be a pop star. Like, he's just a pop artist. So now he submitted things under pop, and he's more likely gonna get like nominations that way.
He is,
because no matter where his music goes, it's just gonna be pop.
Yeah,
because
he tried to do rock.
It's like it's so funny. That's the thing.
But he knew they wasn't gonna let him do that.
It's like both. It should be. It's one of those things where like pop music in the way of it's popular music is kind of like, yeah, he's a pop artist because it's popular music. But if you were to like take those songs, put it in any other artist or any other decade or year, it's gonna seem like rock or alternative.
But also pop is just code terms for white sometimes.
Yeah,
that's really
because honestly, pop music is not necessarily the Dua Lipas in the world. Let's be real. It's Rowdy Rich.
Yeah.
It's like,
it is. I love Dua though.
I love Dua.
Wait, there was like a video that came out and it was like asking for Rihanna to put out an album. I forgot what show it's from, and they're asking.
It was a cartoon.
It was a cartoon, yeah, and they were asking Rihanna.
It was so funny.
And then they were like, "We need you. We're tired of these Dua Lipas and Camila Cabello's." And I was like, "No, they did not get my girl Dua Lipa."
Dua Lipa's.
Yeah. I was like, you can say Camila Cabello, but do not loop her into that. Like, I was so upset.
They were like, she's so boring.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. Like, herself. I can see Dua Lipa being boring. But her music and her sound and her outfits are not boring.
Okay.
But
of all the white women who have been, like, discriminated against.
What? Where's
Lana Del Rey?
Dua Lipa? No, I don't. I'm like, of all the white women to give like credit to, why are we not giving it to Dua Lipa?
I think we are. They're not.
No, she's getting no awards.
Really?
She's the one that is baffling to me because on paper,
doesn't everybody like her?
That's what
her
I'm
music
saying.
videos get 1 billion in 2 seconds.
I don't
Her music is streamed like crazy. Her concerts, all of the fans.
Is she going off in the UK?
Like,
is she getting awards in the UK?
Maybe. But that doesn't matter.
But they don't do as many awards as we do.
Oh yeah.
So it's like they mostly just have like the Brits and like what I don't know, whatever, like small stuff. They don't have many award shows. Everything's so American based. But for whatever reason, it's like they don't want her to do well.
Why?
Even though she's already been doing well. But like on like with the award shows, they're like
Did she make somebody mad?
I don't know. Like,
I don't know
they just
what it
won't,
is.
Like,
I feel like Dua Lipa should be sweeping.
Exactly, for album, even for pop album. I don't even think her stuff gets nominated for pop album, but she'll get nominated for like a song. And I'm just baffled.
It's so weird. Like the VMAs, music videos is kind of her thing. That's what kind of put her on the map.
She got one nom, right?
It was like the obscure ones, like
best directing, or something.
Like editing.
Dua Lipa should have had like her like, this is the Dua Lipa time.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There should be an era of Dua Lipa.
Yes.
I don't know if like all of these award shows are like, we're so tired of like international stars making it
maybe
big.
That's what it is.
But
and
no,
they
like,
choosing her to just take it out on. I don't know. Like maybe they're just like
Ari.
Oh.
Right.
Forgot about that.
Sorry.
What's she doing?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. Well, I was gonna say another song that I did like. Because I was telling Lauren, I was like, these are the stars, and she was like, oh, really? Those are the stars too? And I was like, just like Magic and Nasty,
I
the
like
stars.
that song too.
I like.
But I also think it's interesting. London on the Track was like one of the lead writers on Nasty, and it's just sending me because I felt Summer Walker should have been on that track.
No, I felt the Black influence. I was like, I love this song.
Summer couldn't do the whistles, but like the Let's Get Nasty. Like if Summer ever wanted to do like a little pop,
I could hear her voice.
Yeah.
I could hear it.
want
It would have
them
been
to do
smooth.
a song together. That would be a fire song.
That would be really good.
Ariana.
Ooh, that'd be really good.
it would.
Speaking of collabs, of this album, I like Motive.
Yes.
But It's maybe because like I mean anything I don't know, just because I know Doja's on it that I'm like it's like I like it more than what I truly like it, because I like it. It's like a solid song, but it's just like knowing that Doja's on it, and I just love the idea of Doja and Ariana together, and I just want to support that, because I just want Doja to get all her accolades and work. But I think it's an okay collab.
If Doja wasn't on it, I wouldn't like the song.
Same.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I can't. There was only 3 features, right? Doja, Ty Dolla $ign, and
The Weeknd,
right? I can't think of any of their parts. Like I can't remember.
I think Ty Dolla $ign feature is the weakest.
Yeah, I literally can't.
I forget his verse until he
sings. He was just very
Safety?
background though.
I like his background
Safety
vocals
Net.
on the song.
Yeah,
though.
Safety Net.
Yeah. It's crazy because Ty Dolla $ign usually delivers. I was like,
right? Usually Ty Dolla $ign makes songs better.
Yes. I was so confused. I was like, what's happening?
And did you notice the one with The Weeknd? Like the second half, she was doing vocal gymnastics, but he was not. Like he was doing like solid, but it's weird. I don't know what the choice of like the producers and mixing the voices, but it's like she was stepping like wow, and he was just still consistent compared to like Love Me Harder, when I feel like they
were battling.
Yes, they were equally shined, and it was like
I think he was like, let her go off, because when I was looking on who was mainly writing, he was one of the lead writers on the song. So I don't know if he would like, oh, I wrote this song with you in mind, or I wrote the song, I like it, I want you on it, and it just happened to be on Ariana's
He just wanted her
album.
to shine.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll do a little here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or he just didn't care enough and was like, Ariana, just showcase her. I don't know.
Then get off the song. Oh, I'm sorry.
I really forgot who's on it.
Because thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like The Weeknd has a great voice. I love those two voices together. Love Me Harder, fantastic song. And I feel like if he did vocal gymnastics with her, that song would have been top tier. But instead it's like, why are you on, like, you're not bringing anything really to the track, because you're just singing the verse, and I'm like, Ariana Grande could sing this verse and she could just do her vocal gymnastics and we can call it a day. Like, don't be on the track if you're not gonna give me, like, especially since it's The Weeknd, like, I know you have it in you, don't give me something.
So what's your favorite Ariana Grande album? Let's rank them.
So you know that saying, you don't compare two bad bitches to each other. In this case, it would be how many? 6? We don't compare. I'm just kidding.
No, we're gonna do this. Let's figure it out.
We're gonna disagree.
We are. But we all agree on this. Sweetener is at the bottom.
Yes.
So that's what's good.
It's kind of like when we did Lana ranking and we all put Honeymoon at the bottom.
Yeah.
What do you say? Actually, Honeymoon was my favorite.
Really?
So, Honeymoon is a classic.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like everyone wants to be different. Everyone wants to be different. So Honeymoon's their favorite.
I always think my favorite album, just even though I know this is like incorrect, but it's always the album that I kind of become a fan on. That's usually always my favorite album for any artist, just because that's what makes me want to like start listening to you and like binge and like get obsessed. So for me, my favorite is Dangerous Woman, because that's the one that kind of made me.
That's the same for me, but I don't know. Actually, I don't even know why I'm speaking. I don't know my answer. Somebody else go.
Oh my! I don't know my answer. Here. Are we just doing our favorite, or are we ranking?
No, in order. Rank.
Oh, okay, rank them.
Okay. So Dangerous Woman. And then it's like, then it's like My Everything / Thank You Next / Positions. Then because I mean, I don't really know where to put Positions yet, because I have to listen to it for a lot longer to kind of let it cement in the rankings. Because there's sometimes like songs from My Everything really, really hits, but there's some songs that I couldn't care less about. Thank You Next, once again, there's some songs that I really, really hits, and there's some songs I couldn't care less about. Like the peaks, I don't know.
Okay, wait, I have something in my head I have to say before I change, because I'm gonna change it immediately. Okay, wait, give me a fucking moment. Okay, so I'm gonna say Dangerous Woman, Thank You Next, My Everything, no, My Everything, Positions, yours truly. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna just stop there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Sweetener
Because I'm gonna. Oh yeah, Sweetener and the Sweetener.
Okay. For me, okay, I was listening to Ari's albums today,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't realize how much of a fan I was of her.
Yeah.
I think I was just such a casual listener for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't know how much Ariana Grande content I actually consumed.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my favorite is My Everything. And that's solely because it has one of my favorite songs on Ariana Grande's album.
And you know what it is? It's Break Free.
I tell you, when that album first dropped, and that single first dropped, I was like, it's doing something.
Break Free. How does Break Free go? No, is this not This Is the Part When That's One Less Time, right? This is the part when
Break Free.
Oh, that's Break Free? Okay, yeah.
I can't resist it
no more. Oh yeah. Oh, that was a time. That was a time.
It was a moment.
And like,
Yeah.
It was a moment.
that was during my little phase where I just loved EDM, little dance music, and like it reminded me of like an MO. I don't even know if I'm saying the song correctly, her name correctly, but MO song.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yes, Ariana, you did your thing. I actually bought the single. Like,
What? You
I
spent money dollars?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
I bought the single. Like, that's one of my
Okay.
favorite songs by Ariana.
That's serious.
That explains why you guys were so hostile when me and Age became fans, like real fans. I think the Dangerous Woman times.
Oh, they were.
And they were like, "What? You like that album?
That's
My
not
everything is
get it.
I was like,
No,
you should be happy that I'm finally admitting to be a fan.
Like, do you like that album? It was you guys said something about it being more R&B. That's
No.
I've never said
No,
that.
Yes.
I remember that conversation. I'm talking about. This is the guy. This is other
Just
times.
separate
This is separate
time.
occasions.
No,
Like,
I don't remember being hostile.
Hostile,
I
'cause
think I
I
just
never-
like it was not my favorite album by Ari. I was like, it's cool.
'Cause
But I listened to it again. I was like, oh, this is a good album. But I think I was hostile against this album because it had her singles I didn't care for.
Yeah.
For
You know,
what, Dangerous Woman?
Yeah.
Okay. What were
Like
the
Dangerous
singles?
Woman, I thought it was kind of like a
Dangerous
little lethargic. I got sleepy.
Dangerous Woman
And
into
side to
you.
side.
Yeah, and side to side.
Oh, I didn't like side. I mean, I liked it. Like when it comes on, I listen to it.
Same,
And I love
but it wasn't
Onika's
my
part.
favorite.
Yeah.
Into You
Same.
was good though.
But
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many songs I actually liked from this album once I went through it again. I was like, oh, she did have bops because I always like Let Me Love You and always like Bad
Yeah.
Decisions.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Same.
and I Don't Care, I was like, ooh, those are bops.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
Let Me Love You with Lil Wayne, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like the
That's
one with
such a
Macy
good
Gray
song.
too.
Yeah, she had a
Yes,
yeah.
that's a good song.
I
I
like
like
that one.
it. But yeah, I think Dangerous Woman is my second favorite. And then my third will be, Thank You Next. It's a little bop.
Thank you. Next
And
to the
then
pop.
Positions is number 4. Yours truly, number 5, and Sweetener is 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even though it will change because I like Yours truly,
Mm.
but I don't know. Positions a little up right now for Yours truly. I think.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Close us out, Onyx.
Mine is I don't like comparing.
Onyx.
Well, obviously Sweetener's at the bottom. So number 1 will be My Everything. But I think it's because she had her best dance EDM songs, like the ones that I love, whereas
Mhm.
on My
Mhm.
Everything. And I think for reference, she makes the best dance EDM songs, except for I Hate It, Problem. And I hate it.
Really?
Hate
Wow.
that song. And Bang Bang.
And Bang Bang.
I didn't like Bang Bang.
And I hate it. What's that other one? Focus. Oh, throw
What's
up.
Focus?
Focus.
Oh.
Focus.
I
hate-
forgot
what
about that
album is
song.
I hate that song.
What album was that on though? Because I remember listening to it when I was going through it. Is that just a separate single?
No, it's on an album. I think
Is it Sweetener?
it's probably on.
No,
it's
it's
either
early.
Sweetener or Dangerous in Love. Dangerous in
Dangerous-
Love. Sorry, Dangerous Woman.
It's not Sweeteners because Focus on Me is old.
I don't think it's on the album.
I thought it was.
I don't
'cause
think it
I thought I
is.
just saw it.
It's I think it's just an old random single that she did, but it's old. It's back in the day.
I
Rega-
forgot about that song. I didn't like
except
it.
for those 3 exceptions, she makes the best. Like her and Rihanna make the best like dance EDM.
Mhm.
Those bops.
Yeah.
I love it. But okay, so I think
Yeah,
my
Focus was
Everything's number
2015.
1. I think Yours truly has sentimental value to me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put that second.
Oh wow.
Then Dangerous Woman, then Thank You Next, then Positions, and then Sweetener last. I mean,
so Positions and Sweetener.
I don't know if that is.
Where did I put Positions? I think I put. I don't remember. I said it.
I don't respect that list, but it is for this.
Me either.
Okay.
But it's kind of like she kind of makes great albums, so nothing was really bad except for Sweetener.
I also feel like she's really good in the way of making pop music of like right now.
Yes.
Like with going back to listen to My Everything, I was like, oh my god, just like going back to an old bop versus Thank You Next, even though it's still a good album, it feels so like just out of date recent pop songs.
Yeah.
To where like I'm pretty sure a couple years when you like go back to listen to all of Thank You Next, you're gonna be like, oh,
nostalgic.
I forgot you snapped on this.
Should we do an episode where we listen to Drake's entire discography?
No.
Yes.
Absolutely exhausted. I'm past that.
Entire
right now.
Entire discography.
Yeah, we compare it.
We compare each album.
Can we do it only albums? I don't want to include mixtapes.
Yeah.
Okay. How many albums does he have?
Which ones are considered mixed? Which ones are considered albums?
Because
he has so much.
There's one that was
we're
a
not doing this,
mixtape, and then he like re-released as an album or something.
So it's,
there's another one where it's like it wasn't an album, it's a playlist. So we can discard that one too because that one I hate that album.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of us reviewing Positions. Please remember to follow us on the Twits and on Insta and YouTube.
What's our Twitter? What's our Insta?
Our Twitter is Gems_talking. Our Instagram is Talking Gems. And then our YouTube is Talking Gems Podcast as well.
Yes.
Rate, review,
subscribe. What are you liking something? There's something.
Like
if there's something you can like, then like it. Whatever it is you can do it. Yeah.
You're not for recommendations.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you want us to talk about, and thanks for joining us.
That's
us.